A few galaxies outside the Milky Way are visible on a dark night to the unaided eye, including the Andromeda Galaxy, Large Magellanic Cloud, Small Magellanic Cloud, and the Triangulum Galaxy. In the 10th century, Persian astronomer al-Sufi made the earliest recorded identification of the Andromeda Galaxy, describing it as a small cloud. In 964, he probably mentioned the Large Magellanic Cloud in his Book of Fixed Stars, referring to al-Bakr of the southern Arabs, since at a declination of about 70 degrees south it was not visible where he lived. It was not well known to Europeans until Magellan's voyage in the 16th century. The Andromeda Galaxy was later independently noted by Simon Marius in 1612. In 1734, philosopher Emanuel Swedenborg in his Principia speculated that there might be other galaxies outside that were formed into galactic clusters that were minuscule parts of the universe that extended far beyond what could be seen. These views are remarkably close to the present-day views of the cosmos. Quote, in 1745, Pierre-Louis Maupertuis conjectured that some nebula-like objects were collections of stars with unique properties, including a glow exceeding the light its stars produced on their own, and repeated Johannes Hevelu's view that the bright spots were massive and flattened due to their rotation. Quote, in 1750, Thomas Wright correctly speculated that the Milky Way was a flattened disk of stars, and that some of the nebulae visible in the night sky might be separate Milky Ways. Toward the end of the 18th century, Charles Messier compiled a catalogue containing the 109 brightest celestial objects having nebulous appearance. Subsequently, William Herschel assembled a catalogue of 5,000 nebulae. In 1845, Lord Rosse constructed a new telescope and was able to distinguish between elliptical and spiral nebulae. He also managed to make out individual point sources in some of these nebulae, lending credence to Kant's earlier conjecture. In 1912, Vesto Slipher made spectrographic studies of the brightest spiral nebulae to determine their composition. Slipher discovered that the spiral nebulae have high Doppler shifts, indicating that they are moving at a rate exceeding the velocity of the stars he had measured. He found that the majority of these nebulae are moving away from us. In 1917, Eber Curtis observed Nova S Andromedae within the Great Andromeda Nebula as the Andromeda Galaxy. Messier Object M31 was then known. Searching the photographic record, he found 11 more novae. Curtis noticed that these novae were, on average, 10 magnitudes fainter than those that occurred within this galaxy. As a result, he was able to come up with a distance estimate of 150,000 parsecs. He became a proponent of the so-called island universes hypothesis, which holds that spiral nebulae are actually independent galaxies. In 1920 a debate took place between Harlow Shapley and Eber Curtis. The Great Debate, concerning the nature of the Milky Way, spiral nebulae, and the dimensions of the universe. To support his claim that the Great Andromeda Nebula is an external galaxy, Curtis noted the appearance of dark lanes resembling the dust clouds in the Milky Way, as well as the significant Doppler shift. In 1922, the Estonian astronomer Ernst Öpik gave a distance determination that supported the theory that the Andromeda Nebula is indeed a distant extragalactic object. Using the new 100-inch Mt. Wilson telescope, Edwin Hubble was able to resolve the outer parts of some spiral nebulae as collections of individual stars and identified some Cepheid variables, thus allowing him to estimate the distance to the nebulae. They were far too distant to be part of the Milky Way. In 1936 Hubble produced a classification of galactic morphology that is used to this day.